Welcome back to our episode. Ryan and Kevin here with Chaos and Maine. Today we've on Sodiq Yusuf, the 12th ranked featherweight in the world. Sodiq, how are you doing?
I can't complain, bro. I'm chilling.
Yeah, I mean, another day in the books. How was the day for you today? Did you do some training? Like, what were you up to for today?
I'm actually doing a little bit of healing, man, trying to deal with some injuries. So it wasn't much training. I'm on my way to the gym right after this, but I'm just gonna be watching.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so Sadiq, I mean, we got this interview going. I don't know if you remember. I follow you on TikTok. Your TikToks, I tell everybody your TikTok page. You're the equivalent for Derek Lewis's Instagram page. You're the TikTok page for UFC. The funniest content ever. I saw you on live, and I hit you up for this interview to happen. I just want to say I'm such a big fan, man. And so Sadiq, before we get into what's next for you, I gotta ask. Did you watch Bryce Hall's last fight against what's it Ilya? Is that
Ilya.
how you say it?
Yeah, Mitchell and Ilya. Yeah, I watched it.
What were your thoughts on that fight?
Man, it was a good performance by Taporia, man. I think Mitchell was a little bit like, I don't want to say he was starstruck, but he didn't look comfortable. He didn't look comfortable like he normally does in his other fights. But also I feel like Taporia is just has the better skills to deal with him, you know. So it was a good performance by him. Taporia got a lot of power in his hands and good takedown defense.
Yeah.
Towards the end, it started getting like a little bit sloppy. You know, I think Bryce started having like a small rally, but then Saporia was able to find his shot.
Yeah. So what would you think of a fight maybe one day between you and Bryce? How would you like a fight like that?
I've been asking for a fight with Bryce for a long time, man. You know, like I called him out 2 fights ago. I don't think the UFC was interested, and then that's why I tried to skip the line. You know, I was like, all right, let me just go straight to zombie. You know, but I've been wanting to fight with Bryce for a long time.
Yeah, and I know you wanted to fight him for a while. So has there been any progression towards that fight in your mind or no?
It almost got done after I beat Shanus. After I beat Shanus, it almost got done. But then I think they already turned it down. Once they turned it down, I was like, all right, I guess I'm not fighting. So I started eating. And after that, he came back and he was like, all right, Sadiq, I'll fight you, but I think you're too fat. I was like, come on, man, you know I'm too fat. so
Yeah.
so I most likely I feel like that's something that they will try to do next. If it's not him, then because I want to fight up no matter what. So I think now he's number 9 or 10. And so, yeah, no matter what I want to fight going forward, like I fought backwards my last 2 fights. My next one gotta be me moving up the rankings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we get that fight one day, you versus Bryce Mitchell. I would love to see that fight be a great one. And I saw you did want the Korean zombie fight. I did see a thing you said about you wanted that fight. It never came about, but has there been any news on a potential fight for you? Like, have there been talks with the UFC? What's been going on?
No, not recently. And like I said, I'm dealing with a pretty big injury right now. So for me right now, I'm focusing on healing. I haven't it hasn't really come out to the media yet, but I gotta get some stuff fixed up, and then after that, I'll focus on fighting. My plan was to fight Zombie, like I said, in that February Soul card, but it seems like he's out of that card. I just heard that he's out of that fight too. So, but I'm probably not gonna be fighting on anytime soon. Right now, I gotta focus on fixing the stuff that's wrong.
What's wrong right now with you? What are you trying to heal up on right now?
Well, wait.
You're really been public about it.
I'll give you guys a call when when I could discuss it. But right now, I gotta do a couple more tests and figure out if I'm gonna be good or not.
Okay. Well, I hope you heal up soon, whatever it is. We hope you heal up soon. Get back in there. And so is the game plan now just to let the division kind of play out till you're ready to heal up, and then once you're healed up, you see who's
Man,
kind of ahead of you?
it depends on what the results the doctors give me. If not, I'll be able to. I want to step in soon. Like I said, my plan was always to fight in February, and this is one of those divisions where you kind of have to just take your shot whenever you can. Like the division is always at a stalemate, especially when it comes to like a ranked opponent. And like I said, getting a ranking, a good fight with somebody ranked in front of you is always pretty hard too. And that's why I was really excited when I got the Giga fight. You know, it seemed like an opportunity for me to finally get into the top 10, but the featherweight, man, there's so many good guys, and so many of those good guys at the top are fighting each other constantly, where it feels like we don't get a shot to actually get that spot. Like a lot of us prospects end up cutting each other off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you were saying before, like I'm sure you don't really know with like you were saying with your injury or anything, but would Giga be the fight you would want next since he backed down in October?
I don't really care. It'll be as long as it's moving forward. Either way, I'm fine. If it's Giga, if it's Bryce, which whoever gives me the best opportunity, I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, so have you been working on anything specific, or have you been training at all lately?
before you got
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I just recently stepped out like last week. Last week was when shit went to hell. So but
Are
yeah, outside of that, it's always been the same thing. My training doesn't really change until I get a fight. When I get a fight, then what changes is game planning for that specific opponent. But before that, it's regular training always.
Yeah. Well, whatever's next for you, we'll be tuning. I'm sure we'll get fight news eventually whenever it happens next. Let us know.
For,
But
for sure, for sure. I think whenever I start getting like a ramp up and like USADA tests, there's usually about to get a phone call. So
yeah.
and I've been getting a lot of tests, a lot of USADA tests going on. So fingers crossed, I hear some good things from the doctors. If that's so, then I'll be looking to still try to make that February call.
Since you mentioned USADA, we heard stories about USADA showing up at like 6 in the morning. Have they ever done that to you?
But yeah, that's a fact. There's the earliest I've probably ever had was probably, I'm not even gonna lie, I wasn't that mad at it. They showed up probably like maybe like 7 o'clock, and the thing is they woke me up. But the good thing with that was that when you wake up in the morning, you gotta take that early morning piss. So
Yeah, so you had
at
it ready.
least I was able to get them in and out. Because
Yeah.
sometimes they show up at like an awkward time. Like the worst thing is when they show up right after you use the restroom. And when they do that, is you and the dudes just sitting there for
You're
like
just
two
sitting there
hours
chugging water, I bet.
just looking at each other awkwardly because they have to be in your presence the whole time. They got to make sure you don't run away and put on like a fake penis or something to try to cheat the test.
Yeah,
so,
I was in the army. They did the same thing with all the drug tests. They said they did the same exact thing.
yeah, so that's probably the wildest it's been for me. But outside of that, they've been pretty cool.
Well, I'm glad they've been pretty cool at you. We heard some interesting stories with USADA showing up early. And last couple of things here. We heard Dana White, he's been talking about, going to UFC Africa in the future, coming soon, getting those guys like Izzy, Usman, Francis on a card. I'm sure you want to be on that card. So for you,
That's
is
a
that
fact.
something you definitely want to be on, fighting on that scene like that?
Yeah, that's a fact. There's no possible way that happens without me being on it. To be honest, I feel like it's something that would have happened already if it wasn't for the pandemic. The pandemic slowed a lot of things down. I think that there was planning on doing it, but then everything had to be pushed to the side. I feel like the peak time for that to happen was when all three of them had the belt.
Yeah.
But even now, it'll still be a great card. Like I don't care, even if it's a fight night. It'll still be great. Just at least get that foothold on the continent.
Well, what do you think about this? Francis versus John Jones, Usman versus whoever, whatever happens after Edwards, and then Izzy versus Pereira 3. You on there versus the Korean Zombie or
If
Ilya
you're
or
not on
both.
that card, it doesn't
Yeah.
complete.
Yeah, man, that would be insane, man. Like I don't care who they put me in. I'm gonna make it on that card.
Yeah.
Like I like it's impossible for that to happen because that's one of those things I've been asking for ever since I got into UFC, man. So and to be honest, I have a lot of family that's still back home that can't get visas to come here to watch me. So like that would be like the great opportunity for me to have family and stuff in the building too. So that's definitely something I would look forward to.
Yeah, and imagine this, you're walking out UFC Africa with your family. Like, what would that mean to you just to walk out, have everyone screaming your name? Like, how cool would that be?
Man, it would mean the world. Like I fought on some pretty big stages before. I've had the biggest. I fought on the McGregor card, I think in Cali or something. That might be the wrong place, but like that's just being back at home would make it completely different because you look into that audience and I see all my people. That's a whole different vibe.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, so Sadiq, I mean, we're huge fans. I'm so happy you came on. And before we get into this last little bit, what were you doing exactly on the TikTok live? You were selling stuff with your mom?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
What
my
exactly
mom.
was that?
My mom, she sells like African attire, you know. So I told her I'll go live on my page for her. I might do it again next weekend, you know, because she got I like making her happy, you
It
know.
seems
So
like
and
you guys are getting a lot of sales.
yeah, she got a lot of positive feedback from that, you know. So a lot of them went on the websites, you know. So I just need them to start making more and more sales for her, you know, because that's her passion, you know. That's something she really enjoys doing. So yeah, if you guys see this interview too, you go everywhere that I have a social media on my link tree, I always have like my mom's store stuff in there, man. So pick up something for my mom. It'll make me happy.
That's
I'm
dope.
gonna
No, yeah, we will maybe.
I'm gonna have to get some drip from there. But anyways, so for our last segment, our fans, we want to know more about you. So we're just gonna ask you random, quick, rapid fire questions, then we'll end it up. All right.
Gotcha.
All right. So first one, what is your favorite food?
Ice cream.
You can't go wrong with ice cream. You can't. Next one. I'm interested to hear this next one. You're in a bar fight. What are 2 UFC fighters you want by your side?
2 UFC fight, Francis Ngannou
Yes.
and Derek Lewis.
Yeah,
You gotta go with the top of the biggest guys.
yeah, that's a fact.
All right. Who is your favorite MMA fighter?
My favorite MMA fighter is George St. Pierre. Not just because of the way he fought, but a lot of the things that he said coming up. You know, I feel like he was a real good guy inside and outside the ring, and he laid a good blueprint for like young fighters to come up and follow. You know, because I remember the things he used to say about being nervous before fights, being scared before fights, his approach to training and all that stuff. There's a lot of things that I looked up to in my career, and I kind of repeated after him.
Yeah, he's a legend in the sport. And that brings me to the next one. MMA GOAT. You feel George St. Pierre is the MMA GOAT?
Not the MMA GOAT. The
Okay.
MMA GOAT, like to be honest, I was talking about his character. His character is pretty flawed, but the MMA GOAT is probably John Jones.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
He might not be the best guy outside of the ring, you know, but inside of that cage, he's undeniable.
Yeah. No,
All right. So last one here, Sadiq. Where does Sadiq Yusuf see himself a year from now?
A year from now, I think I'll be cracking top 5 minimum, you know, because I honestly think that's why I wanted the Korean Zombie fight, because I was like, I beat Zombie, I get one more, then I'm in top 5. But we're gonna see. No matter what, that's still my goal. I gotta fight up 2 more fights, and I think I'll be top 5. Then it's gonna be about trying to get a right matchup to get to the belt.
Yeah. Can't wait, man. I can't wait.
Awesome, man. Thank you again so much for coming on. If you have any sponsors or social media you want to shout out, the floor is yours, man.
Everything is super Sadiq. Like you were saying, man. Tell him my TikTok game is
The
legit.
TikTok. Oh my God. You guys need to follow the TikTok. Derek Lewis's Instagram, if you know anything about that, his TikTok is the equivalent of that on TikTok. It is the best.
Yeah.
I'm sending your videos every single day.
I appreciate y'all, man. I gotta get back to practice. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good, man.
Awesome.
We'll catch up soon. Thank you, man. Have a good one.